kind of think of him, we're going to talk about a table principle with him, okay? So he's like a table with four legs, especially if he was up on the old school method, go up high, boom. Now you can literally kind of see that. You can sit back down a little bit. But we want to basically remove one of those and apply pressure toward it, okay? So the first one we're going to do is we're going to concentrate on this far arm. Now a lot of times people reach through and reach through. I don't like this one as much because now my arm's under his. If he wraps my elbow and then does that same side roll we did on the other one, he's now, so chin, you're going to roll that way. Nope, wrong side. That way? Yep, so you're going to be looking that way and rolling your feet up and over your shoulder. Okay? And so he can do a side roll from the other side if I'm reaching under. Okay? So I don't like to reach under with this arm. And so from this position, I cross face it. And again on this one, a lot of people grab cross faces low because they say if you're up here and they elbow backwards, put your elbow to your ribs all the way back, that it breaks it, okay? If he does that again, that's exactly what I want him to do. Again, because if I'm using the table principle, he removed his own leg, okay? And so I want to cross face him high so it creates pressure up, okay? Now from here, now I can sink back my chest a little bit, reach underneath, and now both arms are going to pull as I drive. Okay? And we're just going to drive them over from that position. Okay? So again, we're going to do a far arm breakdown with a cross face. So again, I cross face and I'm hooking. Now from here, I can't reach. Okay? My arm's too short. Dip back down a little bit, grab, and now both are pulling as I'm driving forward. Show it a couple more times. Cross face, dip back, grab, drive him over. Get to control. Okay. We're going to play with that position more in a little bit, but again, just on the breakdown, cross face, far arm, drive, and underneath. Okay. Questions on that one? On 3, 1, 2, 3. Next one we're going to break down, we're going to now break down the near arm. Okay? I'm going to break down his arm with a chop. Again, I don't care if your leg's here. This one's actually a little better for driving. Again, I'm just more comfortable in this position, so I usually start with one knee up and on this side. Arm in far, I'm on the elbow. What you're basically going to do on this one is you're going to chop his arm, just like you come up behind someone and bump their knee and it buckles. We're going to kind of do that to their arm. We're bringing the arm toward the hip as we're coming on this. As I do that, I'm going to drive and kind of pull this way to try to break him down. So again, I'm putting force on the area that's being removed. So again, if you're on this side of it, I can drive off of that foot as I'm kind of breaking it down. And then if I'm on my side here this way, then I can pull and same exact thing. I'm going to kind of chop in. Don't go outside your knee. I'm chopping you that way. I don't want to break your elbow. And so as I chop, I'm bringing him in and across this way as it goes. Okay? So you're taking him over that shoulder. Now if you can, as I get him there, I'm going to take him down, boom, and try to bring him all the way to his back if I can. Now again, we're not pinning, so I'm not just looking for a tilt or back points or anything like that. I'm looking to try to get him all the way over and then be heavy on it. Okay? So again on this one, toward this hip is where it's going. Now sometimes guys do what's called a tight waist. A tight waist comes up, it goes very deep, almost like you're going to the other side, and then locks in. Now see how it almost moved him even when I shifted? And then you can drive and pull across. Okay? But a lot of times just for speed, you can hit this chop just off the beginning. Tight waist is a good one as well, but on this one, I'll take this one a little more at speed. So I'm just going to pull in, boom, and across, and I immediately try to get to a control position.
And you drop your weight too, so you
yeah, I do. So as he starts to come up, I kind of settle.
So you can't counter guard by rolling?
Yeah, exactly. Back up. And so again, I'm here, I'm pulling toward the hip. It's just kind of chopping down. Don't come. We're not like that kind of chop. You're just kind of chopping it in as you're pulling. Not 1, 2, 1. Okay? And see how my elbow just slides into position. Okay. And again, near arm chop. Cool. Questions on that one? On 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so now we're going to go on a far leg breakdown. Okay, there's two versions that you can kind of do on this one. I'll show both of them. You can kind of play with both of them today. So again, our objective is to take that leg out of the contest. So what I'm going to do is I want to kind of get him up a little bit so that I can hook that leg. Okay. Now that I've got the leg hooked, I'm just basically going to knee tap on the other one and block the knee this way and drive into him. Okay. And so again, actually let's turn head that way. No, you're good. Okay. And so if they're all the way down, sometimes you can't reach that. If I can get foot up for me. If they're this way, sometimes you can just hook under, and then that's okay as well. But as I'm here, this one goes, no, stay there. This one hooks under, that one hooks the knee, and I'm just going to drive. Now again, just like the other one, I can't reach the knee. What do I need to do to get to that knee?
Sit back.
Yeah, slip back a little bit. Now I can reach the knee. Now I drive into it, and then into control. Okay? And so again, now if they're flat on that leg, and you can't get that, I can drive into them to push up. Now I have the leg. Okay? Then same thing as before, I switch in, sink down, drive, and on top. Okay? Now the other method of that one you can do is just to knee leg trap basically. So this time when I grab the leg, instead of going around his leg, I'm coming to the inside. Okay? Both of them are pulling his leg toward me, and I'm driving him up and over. Okay? So I'm pulling with my arm, pushing with my chest, and kind of just toppling him over. Okay? Go just hook up for it. So again, I'm hooking. If their foot's up, you'll just hook. I come through and grab. And on this one, I'm pulling it with both hands, pulling toward me as I drive into it. Okay? And again, if that foot's flat, again, you push up into them so that you can grab it. Then you thread through and then drive and push. Okay? Good questions on that one? On 3, 1, 2, 3. So this time, again, the table, we've already attacked the far arm, the near arm, the far leg, and so this time we're going to go after the close leg. Okay? Now there's a lot of variations. When we get to some of the pinning, you're actually going to see where I like to cross face and attack this leg, where I'm coming in and hooking out. And that one's one of my favorite ones. Okay? But on this one, I'm going to reach back, and my hands are basically going to switch. This one's going to go to his hip. This one's going to come in toward his leg. Okay? Because again, I want you focusing right now. There's a whole cross-face series, but because we're working on a table principle, I want you to focus almost primarily on this leg without a whole lot. We did cross-face on the other one, but the cross-face was attacking that arm, so it kind of went into that series. But on this one, as I come to grab that leg, this one comes under, this one's going to grab the leg. I'm going to drive his foot up and in toward his bottom, so as I lift it up, it's kind of like a lever. But not only that, I'm going to try to drive him not just sideways as I'm bringing him up. See how he already starts to go? I'm going to help his force go that direction. Okay? So I'm here, I grab, drive, and then right into my control position. Okay? So again, and both actions kind of happen at once. So from here, boom. Okay? And so as soon as I grab, lift, and drive, and right.
So that's when you said earlier, that's when the only times you would go inside with the other arm?
Yeah. Now, because we're there's hooks, I still have to be careful of this arm getting hook my elbow and being attacked on that. Not just for that, but possible attacks on the arm and so forth. But from here, again, because we're showing the table principle as far as the breakdown, I really want you to understand and isolate that particular foot as we're going. So again, in one motion, now you can even, like if I start here, it's a quick drop and turn to it. Sort of like when we did that stepping drill earlier. It allows me to go right into it. So I can drop, lift, and drive. Okay? And I'm lifting that toward his bottom and toward his shoulders. Okay? Questions on that one? Yep. So this is a near ankle breakdown. Here and drive. And again, like I said earlier, we're going to do a cross face in a near ankle. That's what I tend to put it with. Back up. The cross face, it makes it harder for him to attack my arm now. And so now I'm able to go. But again, we're working on the table principle right now against level 1 stuff. So I basically want you to realize, take away a table leg, break them down. Take away a table leg, break them down. And on 3, 1, 2, 3. Where you can see, this one's called an elbow breakdown, okay? So from referee's position, I'm gonna put the point of my elbow in his spine, just kind of about where the shoulder blades start, and I'm gonna drive toward his nose with the point of my elbow. It sucks. In this case, like every other one, we broke the table down on the edges, okay? We took a leg away, in this case their arms, but we took a table leg away in each of the positions. This time, we're kind of smashing the table down as we go.
John Jones.
So from here, as it comes in, this is illegal in jiu-jitsu. It's gonna come up and drive, and it drives all the way down. Drive, yeah, whoa, as you're breaking them down, okay? And it's shooting not just into them, but forward, okay? And so from that pressure, you can pressure behind their arms, pressure, well, you only have one arm here, but you're gonna basically continue to drive them forward as you go using your chest and your arms to go, okay? So again, from here, I'm right up in the middle, I drive, and I'm just kind of, my arm will help kind of stiff arm through as I go.
So is it going to be different with each? Because he moved that arm out of the way. Are you forcing him to go that way?
Good question. Perfect. Trey's gonna be like, anyone else got questions? Yep. So from here, in and up, and then again, I can just keep driving him to get him over. This one's mean. It's going back up. So as I hit him, that part, that's gonna happen. Okay. Now again, once we start getting into different hooks and stuff, watch what he does, how he reacts.
And that comes up.
Okay. And so in this case, I'm doing it to break him down, not just to pop other stuff up. But as I drop him, even if he hits his elbows here, now I'm able to start driving in on him and pushing. And I'm just getting behind that arm, driving. I'm trying to go forward. It's probably going to turn him slightly as it goes because the pressure here now is kind of flaring that arm a little bit. And so, one sec. So again, it's here. Now notice how I just slid to it. I didn't come up and like elbow him in, and we're not doing that. I'm kind of sliding up and right into it, and then driving back and behind. Okay. This one sucks. Do it just a couple times, maybe one or two each, or yeah, because you do it like 5 times. Okay, I got it. It's done. Question.
Is there a specific point in the back that the elbow has?
Yeah, that's what I showed you already. Yeah. So again, I'm starting kind of right near the shoulder blades, in, and then down and up. Okay. So from here, it's driving, and then behind. So again, back up. So it's starting here toward the point of the nose, and then I'm going to start to apply. This is kind of keeping him down and broken, and then this starts to drive and into that pressure. Okay? Cool.
Okay.
Any other questions?
It's like unfazed.
Yeah.
What is it? What does it
Put
feel
the
like?
pressure
Put a line up now, guys. Let's go.
So again, it's just sliding up into it here. Drive into him. Now notice if they're fighting it, it leads right to a half. Okay? Now the thing with it, a lot of times if you enter a half, they can go into a wing roll, sort of like that side roll that we did. If I just came in and grabbed, hook my elbow, don't really roll me, but if he rolled this way, it's gonna roll me over. Okay? When I break him down on this, boom, and he hits,
Ooh.
it can lead right into the half as well. Okay? And he's not going to be able to roll you because he's already hit the ground.
Yeah.
So you're basically collapsing this table on it. Okay? So again, from here, it just slides in, this arm behind. because it's behind, it's almost like a spiral, right? For those of you who know the spiral.
Yeah.
But it can also come up into a half after I break them down.
Oh.
And it's just kind of one fluid motion as you go.
Any more questions?
Any
And other questions?
I think we're good.
On three. 1, 2, 3.